In this movie, I'll demonstrate an exciting new upsampling algorithm that is internally at Adobe known as Deep Upscale. Because, get this, it uses a deep learning neutral network model. I don't know what that means either, but the upshot is that it detects and preserves the most important details in an image without introducing over sharpening of prominent edges or smoothing out low contrast textures. And in Photoshop, it goes by the name Preserve Details 2.0. And I'm going to demonstrate how it works on this image, once again from the Dreamstime image library. Now, currently, the Dreamstime logo is a vector-based shape layer, meaning that we could scale that as much as we want without introducing any problems, which is why I'm going to convert everything to pixels by going up to the layer menu and dropping all the way down to this guy here, merge down. Or I could just press Command-E here on the Mac or Control-E on the PC. And now we have a single flat image file. All right, I want to compare the old ways to the new. So I'm going to go up to the image menu and choose the duplicate command, and I'll go ahead and call this new image Deep Upscale, let's say, just so we remember what it is. All right, I'm going to zoom in. I'll switch back to the original there, and I'll go up to the window menu, choose Arrange, and then choose 2 up vertical. All right, now this is a technology preview that happens to be turned on by default. But just so you and I are on the same page, go up to the Photoshop menu here on the Mac. On the PC, you want to go to the Edit menu, choose the Preferences command, and then choose Technology Previews. And check to make sure that Enable Preserve Details 2.0 Upscale is turned on. All right, I'll go ahead and click OK. And now, with the left-hand image open, I'll go up to the image menu and choose the image size command. Now, by default, this dialog box is pretty darn tiny, so I'm going to expand it like so. And notice that my width and height values are linked together, and the resample option is turned on and set to automatic. All right, working with percents, I'm going to go ahead and take the values up to 500% like so that we can preview the upsampled image here inside the dialog box. And I just want you to notice the difference between this, which itself is newer technology than we had a few years ago, and this, Bicubic Smoother, which used to be the automatic upsampling function. And you can see how soft it is by comparison to the new automatic, which incidentally is the same as Preserve Details enlargement. Now, the good news is that we have better edges than we used to have in the old days, but there is a fair amount of over-sharpening going on, and as a result, we're bringing out some kind of bumpy ridges along the top eyelid as well as around the iris. Now, you do have the option of increasing this reduced noise value if you like. I'm going to leave it set to 0% because it makes for a good demonstration, and now I'll click OK. All right, so that ends up making our rasterized text quite large, and you can see that we have a little bit of over-sharpening around those edges as well. All right, now let's compare it to Preserve Details 2.0 by switching to the other image and returning to the image menu and choosing image size. All right, I'll go ahead and increase the width and height values once again to 500% like so, and I'm going to drag the preview over so that we can see the eye. Notice when you're dragging the preview, you're just seeing a nearest neighbor interpolation, so the pixels are just growing larger. But as soon as you release, the upsampling occurs. Now, I just want to briefly make you appreciate what's going on here. When you increase the resolution of an image by 500%, you make each and every pixel 5 times as wide as it was before, as well as 5 times as tall. So every single pixel turns into 25 pixels, which is a big, huge expansion. All right, the other thing I want to impress upon you is that automatic, which is the default setting, is the same as the old Preserve Details. Even though we just turned on the new technology inside the Preferences dialog box, it is not in use by default. If you want to take advantage of deep upsampling, then you need to choose Preserve Details 2.0, and I want you to watch that eye on screen there. Notice how better it resolves. All of a sudden, we have smoother details than we had before, so we don't have the harsh transitions of the over-sharpening that we saw just a moment ago. And I dare say that I could be convinced, not that this image was shot at this resolution, but that it was upsampled by a lot less than 500%. At which point, I'll go ahead and click OK to accept that change. And notice how much better the text looks as well. It's sharp, but it's not over sharp. And by that, I mean we don't have these weird, thick, dull edges that we had before. We've got nice, sharp edges, even though, albeit, we are introducing a little bit of what I would term micro sharpening. All right, just to make things crystal clear, I'm going to go ahead and scroll both of these images by shift spacebar dragging, incidentally, so that we can see each one of those eyes side by side. And if that doesn't quite do it for you, I'll go ahead and right-click with my rectangular marquee tool and choose Duplicate Layer. And then I'll go ahead and send this guy to the other document so that one is sitting on top of the other. And now you can see that eye resolve. And so I'm going to go ahead and close this image because we don't need it anymore. And that way we can see both of the eyes at the same time. So this is the old Preserve Details technology, and this is Preserve Details 2.0. And I'm here to tell you, if it works this well when scaling a tiny image by 500%, it's going to work even better when applied in a professional capacity.